surely would be it. Domestic and family violence is about more than what is spoken about in this place and in these corridors. It's also about shifting the culture across our nation, and I want to commend all speakers in this very important debate, but particularly commend the member for Lindsay, and to thank the member for Lindsay for her courage in speaking out. I certainly hope that that will encourage more people to also speak out, and in doing so to help us shift the culture across the nation. Because as the Prime Minister said in his address to this morning's White Ribbon Breakfast, what we're talking about today is a matter of respect. Disrespecting women does not always result in violence against women, but all violence against women begins with disrespecting women. Mr Deputy Speaker, this is backed up by the national statistics, which are shocking. 1 in 3 women have been a victim of physical or sexual violence since the age of 15 by someone known to them. 1 in 4 women have been emotionally abused by a partner, and 1 woman dies almost every week at the hand of a current or former partner. When I spoke earlier today with Brisbane Water Local Area Command Superintendent Danny Sullivan, it became clear that these statistics are just as true in my electorate of Robertson, where on average every 2 hours a police vehicle will respond to a domestic violence call on the Central Coast. Not every 2 weeks, not every 2 days, but every 2 hours. That's why I helped to facilitate a local domestic violence committee in my electorate, with local community leaders and local experts meeting together to discuss grassroots solutions and to also help start a conversation with more families, teachers, young people and schools in particular. Slowly, I believe that we can see a change in the conversation on the Central Coast and across our nation. We can see this in one simple but breathtaking local visual statement, where Brisbane Water Local Area Command has overseen an extraordinary community push to plant white poppies on the grass at the Skillion at Terrigal this year. Similar to a sea of red poppies earlier this year as we commemorated Anzac Day, these white poppies honour the thousands of victims of domestic and family violence. I'm told that volunteers worked for hundreds of hours to hand-make 55,000 poppies that were placed there on Monday in the shape of a ribbon. Terrigal provides a stunning backdrop for the display, a display which was 3 years in the making. Our local police partnered with women's empowerment and advocacy group Zonta to help make the display a reality, and I'm advised that Central Coast Council also contributed $6,000 for the materials. We even had local businesses lending a helping hand, with Burson Auto Parts at Gosford donating screwdrivers at short notice after volunteers arrived to discover the ground was too hard for the wooden poppy stems. School students walking past have been dropping in to help out, and the local newspaper, the Express Advocate, has done an excellent job in promoting this initiative. So I do commend Superintendent Sullivan and his team, including Gillian Mitchell, Tim Jeffrey, Jessica Bradbury, Nick Carroll and Peter Watson. These are our local men and women on the front line who do an outstanding job. I look forward, Mr Deputy Speaker, to meeting them on Sunday and encourage our community to join us as we walk up the Terrigal Skillion to make a statement in condemning the actions of those who commit domestic violence. I'd also like to take this opportunity to commend the Turnbull Government on its announcement today of the new E-Safety Commissioner, Julie Imnan-Grant. The Commissioner will have a strong focus on online safety and the issue of non-consensual sharing of intimate images, often described as revenge porn. She has a big task ahead, but I'm pleased to see that the Turnbull Government will conduct a public consultation process on proposed civic penalties in this area, targeted at both the perpetrators and those sites which host intimate images and videos shared without consent. There's much more that this government is doing too, including a $30 million national campaign called Stop It at the Start to change young people's attitudes to women and violence, in partnership, of course, with our states and territories. We've also launched a third action plan with an additional $100 million investment. This complements the existing work of states and territories around Australia, including in New South Wales, where video is now collected by police when attending a domestic violence incident, which is then able to be submitted to court as evidence. And I understand from Superintendent Danny Sullivan that our local police command is leading the state in taking advantage of this initiative. And finally, we have the $100 million Women's Safety Package, which includes expanding the 1-800-RESPECT frontline services, drastically reducing wait times. Mr Deputy Speaker, I commend the government for its strong leadership and approach to this most important of issues and encourage all of us here to continue to promote the need for leadership in standing up against domestic and family violence.
I call a member for Werriwa.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I rise to speak